We continually hear about the SABC Foundation, and I believe you are undoubtedly one of the most unsung heroes of this space. When did it start?
The foundation's been around since 2003. I've only been there for the past 5 years, and yes, we've done some amazing work. Our focus areas are very broad, considering that we are part of government and we follow, the government's calendar of programs for the year.
What is the criteria for, that you use to get somebody on board?
NGO support is very important, so you've got to work with registered NGOs, and that's a big thing for us. A lot of times the foundation's currency is its airtime, but we do have huge reach in terms of our media coverage around television and around radio.
Is that the shape in which the support comes in? Airtime, because SABC is airtime.
I'd like the message to be pretty clear that if you are coming to do business with the foundation, that's the space we operate in. Mm-hmm. There are times that people need a lot more than airtime. People are just hungry. Kids need to go to school. Kids need bursaries. Families are destitute.
Mm-hmm. And what do you do in that instance?
We do a lot of amazing work with people like Gift of the Givers. Dr. Imtiaz is just incredible, so we do a lot of work with them. And we then can tap into some of the partners that we have already around that. But other times we just tap into our resources. It's so much easier to put something on, like through our Touching Lives program that runs on our news programs. Mm-hmm. So much easier to put a call out for support like that. Then people will come back to you after 2 or 3 days.
Sure.
But sometimes the need is instantaneous. And in that case, then we step up and use our coffers to do so.
Just talk about your partnership with Brand SA. How did that come about?
Well, the partnership with them has been going on for a long time. They've been part of the SABC family, and we've been part of their families for a long, long time. This program about how do you highlight ordinary South Africans that are playing their part on such a huge platform like this is incredible.
There's a prevalent thought that South Africans are a tad bit apathetic about getting involved. I mean, in your position, what's your take on, people's appetite for getting involved?
People are moved by what they see and what they experience. I think if you watch something on television and it's something that's far removed from you, I think it's very different. But I think we South Africans are at the coalface program, another program that I'm passionate about, that I've sponsored for a long time, as the SABC is called Rally to Read, where we go out to children at a school level and interface with them there. And when you see it like that up close, people want to give. My experience is that South Africans are far more generous than we give them credit for. South Africans want to play their part and they want to do what they can for their fellow man. We just need to make that easier for them to do so.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the other programs that are, let me say, close to your heart through the SABC Foundation?
Some personal ones where we are able to make an immediate difference in the life of one child. A lot of our programs are where we serve a community, we feed a community, or make a difference on a bigger scale, whether we're putting computer centers in schools or libraries. But when we're able to help a kid like Wanga, who was burnt in a shack fire at 10 months old. She's now 8 years old, 9, going into 9. Having lived with this, having been teased for years, having never really known what it is to be young and free and play outside and have a smile. The work we do with the Smile Foundation is just, Smile Foundation is just another level of grace.
Sure.
And so I think when we're able to do stuff like that, is very moving. We did an operation on a kid just last month where he had cross-eyed, and we were given the hospital and the doctor did it for free, and within 2 hours his life was changed.
Wow.
After 15 years
Sure.
of living like that.
Sure.
And the operation was successful immediately. So where we are able to do that kind of intervention, I think for me is the most meaningful.
You mentioned bursaries as well.
We have a huge bursary program. We have between 50 and 60 people on our bursary program as we stand, and because we are again government, we don't prescribe what we want you to study, whether you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, finance, law, whatever, we look at the whole spectrum. And so I think the bursary program as well is something that I'm particularly proud of at the SABC Foundation.